For a lot of people, and I found this in my classes when I was teaching the hidden gems of Tucson restaurants, everybody goes to the same 3 restaurants over and over and over and over. And the thing is, there are dozens and dozens of spectacular restaurants in this city that you don't know about. And one of the things that we figured out during the Hidden Gems of Tucson restaurants was how to bring that information to our members. And so in conjunction with that kind of thought, I'm going to turn this over to Addie, and she's going to tell you about some great new restaurants that have opened up this year. And when you're done with this, please, there are a number of other SGLs, study group leaders, and other members here that have their name tags on. Please walk up to them and ask them about the classes. I think you can see here that it's just a great way to socialize and meet people, as well as learn. And as we say at OLLI, the curiosity never retires. So with that said, Addie, take it away.
Thank you, thank you. I think you can hear me with this, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Sign me up for that tipping class. I'm also confused. Well, welcome to Best New Restaurants of 2023. I'm Addie Ibarra. A little bit about myself. I have been with Tucson Foodie since probably around 2017. We were under the ownership of Adam Lehrman at that point. I met him at a tequila dinner because, of course, that's where I met him. And I've started freelance writing for him ever since. Ever since 2022, when we were under new ownership, Shane Reeser, I've kind of evolved into more of the community director, liaison. So really our goal is to try and bring as many people together as possible. I have a dog named Spaghetti, so if you see me referencing dog-friendly places, it is because I take her with me everywhere, so any chance I get to spotlight a restaurant that is dog-friendly, I will do so. Excellent, excellent. Cool. And quick show of hands, who here has heard of Tucson Foodie? Oh, okay. I never know how that's going to go, so I'm glad it went well. So Tucson Foodie has been around for about 10 years. As I mentioned before, it was under ownership of founder Adam Lehrman. In 2022, Shane Reeser purchased the company, and we've kind of started to evolve in the best way possible. So we're switching things up. Our mission is to bring people together over the shared love of food. And we're doing that by curating content, providing immersive experiences, and really trying to engage with the community, aside from just writing, hey, these are places that you should go eat and try. Like, we're really trying to foster that community because food really touches everything. It touches fashion, it touches art, it touches travel. So really, how do we bring that into Tucson, knowing that we're a gastronomic city of food? Yes. We are community backed. So that means that Tucson Foodie is supported, funded, driven by our members, our readers, and anybody else. Fun facts about Tucson Foodie: over a quarter of the Tucson population reads our articles every month. So that's why we're always constantly trying to churn those out. We know it's important and it's a great resource. And then social media, our following is at about like 200,000. So we really try to engage there too. So moving along, this is our team. That is Shane, our CEO, Sam Jump, our COO, myself when I had longer hair, Matt Sterner, our editor, Hannah Hernandez. She is the face behind our content on social media, also known as Death Free Foodie. We have a vegan night coming up, so she's our vegan liaison for that. Fun Ye, who is our video director, and Dalton Voss, who is also our videographer. And then Max Winger over there, the handsome gentleman with the camera. He is our guide guru. That's what I call him. He doesn't know that. So, as I mentioned, we really wanted to restructure our content to be a little bit more tailored, especially after the new ownership. So to that end, we've developed stories and guides. So stories are going to still be more of what you're used to seeing: grand openings, closings, new menu updates, new hours, any sort of what's happening in Tucson in the food scene, you're going to find in the stories. Our guides are newer, and really what the purpose of the guides is to get ahead of that search. Like, what are the top 10 best Thai restaurants? sorry, top 10 hot dogs, Sonoran hot dogs. That guides are going to be more tailored to that specifically. And like I said, Max is our guide guru. So I'll let you speak to it if you want to, Max, and I'll give you a microphone so that people at home can hear you.
How we doing, gang? Hello. How about that flight in? Huh? No, so the guides are kind of our response to Google and
what an interruption.
being a mess, a bunch of noise like that just was. In my experience, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Googling things now is such a, I mean, it's a mess, you know. It's bogged down with ads, with sponsored stuff, with everything. What we're trying to do is clean that whole process up and kind of put together platforms by which you can find specific types of food. So we've got guides to the downtown. We've got guides to kind of our essential Tucson foodie choices. We've got guides to Marana, Oro Valley. And then we've also got food specific choices, the best pizza in Tucson, the best Thai food in Tucson, the best Sonoran dogs in Tucson. Trying to make it just easier for you to find, as Rob was talking about, those hidden gems, the focus being more on local places. So we don't feature the fries of McDonald's in the best fries in Tucson. We're looking for just the locally owned, maybe they've got a location or two here, maybe as far as Phoenix, but for the most part, we're trying to pick out all of those Tucson spots so you can really kind of support local, eat local, and indulge in those Sonoran delights. Guides coming soon to internets near you.
And one of the cool things about guides is that, sure, they're curated by our team, but we also always accept submissions. If there's ever a guide that you want to author, we absolutely would love that. So we really want to bring more community into that. Like, for example, there you go. Colby's one of our members and he's wearing a Tucson Foodie shirt. He's basically staff. But for example, Colby got to curate a guide recently for us, or I think you're in the middle of working on it, but all that to say, we really, really encourage. Oh, it's live. Everyone go check out Colby's guide. What was it about?
Thank you. Well, it's a little bit of everything. It's kind of like there's coffee places, there's a breakfast burrito place, there's some really great fusion places. Just a nice little tour of my migration patterns. If you wanted to see me out in the wild somewhere, it's definitely those are some of my favorite watering holes and places to find really great food. So absolutely, yeah. And it's a lot of fun to go around and find those things that are very specific to you. When I first moved to Tucson, I always asked someone the question, like, if the aliens were to come and take you away at the end of the night, where would you want to have your last Tucson meal? And they would go, oh, just one? That's like so unfair. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And it tells you like exactly what that person is like. You know, are they going to choose some kind of comfort food? Are they going to go to Blue Willow and have the meatloaf, which is awesome, by the way? Or are they going to go and have like really great tacos over at Tacos Absom? Because those are also quite amazing. And it tells you all about them. And so I started making this list, which, just became like my checkoff list. And then this sort of translates, those guides just really translate into those kinds of things too, where it's like you go to ask the question with someone, your friend or your partner, like, where are we going to eat tonight? And you could do one of those 3 places that you love so much, or you could look at here and go, ooh, let's go on a little adventure, into another country. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we love adventuring at Tucson Foodie and trying to step outside of our comfort zone. And then speaking of stepping outside of our comfort zone, I'm going to change the slide, but it's going to play the audio and it might be a little loud. But I'll go ahead and introduce it because one of the biggest things that we also started on, you saw me introduce 2 members, Fun and Dalton, who are our video team. So they work on producing short snippets, very digestible amounts of videos, and they meet with chefs and they create a recipe. They do that together, and it's about 6 to 10 minutes, depending on the video. But you get to see the personalities of the chefs at their restaurant making a recipe, and you can follow along. So that's something else that we've been working on, another way to incorporate community into our content. So it's 6 minutes long. I'm not gonna play, but just.
Hey, We're at Boca by Chef Maria Mazan. Let's go check it out. I'm here with Chef Maria.
Hi guys. So today she invaded my kitchen.
Yeah.
She invited herself. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so today I'm gonna teach you how to make flautas. Those are one of the things.
Cool. But you can, I stopped it as a teaser. I really want you guys to go watch it afterwards. She's teaching us how to make flautas, her world famous flautas. One more thing before we get into the new restaurants of Tucson, I wanted to go ahead and just share our membership models, just because, as I said, we are community backed. And the way we've kind of done that is by creating two separate avenues. One of them is going to be more event focused. So for example, if you're wanting to go to our mixers, our festivals, any events that Tucson Foodie puts together, the Insider is going to be more for you. If you're wanting to kind of expand and try these new hidden gems of Tucson, the Passport's a really good option because it's an app that you view. You can select which place you want to go to, and you're able to redeem a $10, $20, $30, $40 voucher at each restaurant. So those are just different ways that we're trying to really build that community in. Colby is also a member of ours, so if you want to hang out with Colby, I recommend joining. Awesome. So, thank you for reminding me. Rob just reminded me that the paywall, we used to have a paywall on our website. I don't know if you guys ever wanted to read an article and then were just shafted by that paywall. It's no longer there. I believe it used to be like a $4 recurring fee to access the content. It's no longer there. We really just want to be able to provide that content to you. And using these membership tiers really allows us to continue to do that and still fund everyone. Thank you, Rob. So without further ado, really before we get started, I wanted to ask a quick question. What do you look for when you are trying to find a restaurant? Are you looking for a cuisine type? Are you looking for location, price? Do you have any certain criteria? Cuisine? Yeah. Ambiance? Location? Oh, good reviews. What do you use for reviews? So Kathy just thumbs down Yelp, but when it comes to Tucson Foodie for reviews, we like that. Okay, good enough. I'll try and work those into the recommendations for the new restaurants. So as I said, without further ado, Corbett's. So this is a brand new one. They're not opening until tomorrow. So as I said, brand new. We had the opportunity to check them out this weekend for their soft opening. They are located on 6th and just south of 6th and 6th. So I don't know if you're familiar with where the Corbett's building used to be. It was built in the 1930s. It was a lumber yard. It's since been repurposed into this restaurant. Quick question. Does anybody here play pickleball? Oh,
you're gonna love this place.
I just played pickleball for the first time yesterday. I highly recommend it. They have an indoor pickleball and an outdoor pickleball. You can reserve the courts, play inside. I love that. It's supposed to be one of the largest restaurants in Arizona now because they took over that old building, added the pickleball courts, and then still added a restaurant on top of it. So the menu is small. They do have brunch on the weekends. They have things like burgers, salads. Their dessert is ice cream with sprinkles, which is really classic and simple, but really, really good. Yesterday's flavor was like strawberry something.
The food menu doesn't start until 10 a.m., tends to be on the weekends, but the pickleball courts are open from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. every day.
Yes. Also dog friendly. I took Miss Spaghetti there. They didn't have Misters yet. We hope they get Misters soon. But yeah, they're very dog friendly. They have all the water bowls and everything incorporated. So good place. It'll open tomorrow. Agave House. So this one opened in June. So this is going to be university area. It's by Unit Concepts. So they own Gentle Ben's Brewing and Spazio Italiano. So they're just kind of expanding their footprint in the university area. They've got Their menu has tacos, enchiladas, ceviches. Everything is sourced as locally as possible. They have 10 small bites, like a grilled cheese. It's not grilled cheese, but it's like cheese that's grilled. So flameado, it's what they called it. Grilled nopales, a melty Oaxacan cheese blend, hearts of palm, lemongrass vinaigrette, all that good stuff. So healthy-ish Mexican on university. Healthy-ish.
Eat healthy tequila, you know.
That's good for you.
Low-cal margs, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Borderlands Brewing Company, another dog favorite of mine because they brew their own dog beer. But yeah, this is a new one. This is the new location on Sam Hughes. So it's Tucson and Fifth. Like I said, they worked with Chef Maria to create their menu. And if you've ever had Chef Maria's food, you know that it's spectacular. Now that's truly healthy Mexican food. I mean, she's just really put her heart and soul into it. You can tell they've even got aguas frescas. They've got like more alcohol-y based cocktails. Of course, their Borderlands beer, and they're really, really good food. Parking is a little bit limited, so just be aware of that. You can go buy something at Flora's and then just say that you parked there, but I didn't say that. Dandelion Cafe and Bakery. So this is kind of a twofold one. I don't know if you've ever been to Ceres. Has anyone been to Ceres? Ceres is near the Tucson Museum of Art. It's a literal window in the wall. So you go, you walk up to the window, you order your pasta. They have very good seasonal offerings. Every Friday they change their weekly special, but they always have the standard pastas that they make in-house. They make focaccia, they have gelato, you can go get coffee, and it's right across the street from La Cocina. So you just walk up to it. It's really good food. So Ceres had that location. Then they opened up Nudi's. So Nudi's another pasta bar, restaurant, because this one has actual seating. It's inside of a building, and it's on Speedway and Campbell area. So mostly catered to the U of A students. So they have those two locations. And then they have their third location now, which is the Dandelion Cafe and Bakery. So in the mornings, it's a full-on bakery. They have sweet treats. They've got sandwiches, salads, their coffee, their standard. And then in the evening, it turns into a cocktail bar. And that cocktail bar is good. So you can see, you could just spend the entire day there. You can go get your breakfast, maybe take a meeting, and then have your cocktail in the evening. So that's a really good one. And it comes from the creative minds behind Ceres and Nudi's, which I cannot say enough good things about them because they are really, really good. Fat Boy Sando's. Fat Boy Sando's used to be a food truck. They used to they used to hang out at the Hem and Her Bridal, so right down close nearby on Roger, I believe. They were the food truck. Really, really good Japanese sandwiches. Their katsu is just mouth-watering with their rice. Probably some of the best katsu I've had, to be honest. And they would move around, and they're a food truck. However, now they have a brick and mortar building inside of American Eat Co. And I don't know if you've ever been to American Eat Co., but it's basically like a cafeteria style location where you can go and sample different kinds of restaurants. And they've got they've got all the restaurants there. Fat Boy Sando's now lives inside of American Eat Co., inside of that food hall. So now you can get their Japanese inspired cuisine there. They even have like the onigiri, which is just awesome. They change it up. It's just really good food. And yeah, American Eat Co. Do you know who's in American Eat Co right now?
They've got a mess of different places. I know there's a coffee spot in there. There's Monster Sonoran Dogs has got a spot. That's the giant Sonoran Dogs. Fat Boy Sando's is in there. There's a ice cream place now. It's kind of a indoor food courty adjacent sort of place. Lively. It's got games. It's got a nice little spacious area inside. Similar to MSA Annex, but like the indoor version.
Yeah, and on Sundays they have like mariachi in the morning, so you can go and like listen to that, have really good food, and then listen to that live music. So really big fan of theirs. And if you're in the area, and if you're at American Eat Co., then I would also suggest going to El Torero if you haven't been there. I'm just riffing off now, but El Torero's great Mexican food, and it's right down the same street. So recommend that area. Monsoon Chocolate. We love, okay, we love monsoon chocolate here. So they have a new location in Midtown. Yeah, so they have their new location in Midtown next to that Copenhagen area. It's an actual cafe, coffee shop. So you can go, they make tarts on the weekends that are just so stinking good. So you could just go and sit down there, spend a day. And then their 22nd, their old location on 22nd, it's still going to be just retail only, where you're probably going to go get your Christmas gifts, Christmas chocolates to give away. But one thing I wanted to highlight around the Monsoon chocolate area, since it's not necessarily a restaurant, but it's a cafe, there's a couple of great options nearby. So you're on Tucson and Fort Lowell. Across the street, you're going to have Tucson Hop Shop. So you can grab a beer there. There's also Chow Pizza, which is in that same Metal Works Village. Chow Pizza, Chow Down Pizza. It's a really great pizza. They substitute gluten-free at no additional cost, which I always find to be very nice. Le Rendezvous, if you've been to Le Rendezvous, it's just a spectacular French restaurant. You do need reservations. So if you can get a reservation at Le Rendezvous, it is well worth it. If you sit at Le Rendezvous and you don't sit in the actual dining area, but in their little like indoor patio, the menu is different, but it's cheaper. So pro tip for you there. There's a Hello Bicycle and Cafe, which is another coffee shop. You can ride your bikes, they'll fix it for you. All that good stuff. Oh, that was my fault. I can update it and I will update it before it gets sent out. Thank you for that.
Can I just say I really appreciate we went through about 4 different restaurants and we got to the chocolate and half of you went, ooh. I respect that.
A dessert crowd. Okay. This is a semi-new one, OLLI-UA Coffee and Kitchen. So this is going to be corner of 6th and 6th. I don't know if you've been to the Sand Reckoner tasting room, but it's right there on the corner. They open at 7 a.m. They started off as a coffee shop. Now it's a full-blown restaurant inside. So you can get things like burritos, brioche French toast. They make guac, quesadillas, green chili cheese fries, all the traditional breakfast fixings. And the quality is actually really, really good. They have ceremonial grade green tea matcha. They have like very fun like honey, hazelnut, lavender coffees, and they just like to get creative. Everything's locally sourced. Really great fusion of being able to have the coffee shop and like the quiet ambiance, read a book, but also the restaurant, which is right next door, and being able to go there 7 a.m., eat, and then call it a day.
This is why we did this after lunch.
And then we've got some Sam Fox restaurants that opened up this year. That is the correct address for the both of them. I did confirm that. But it is Doughbird and Flower Child. So 2 different cuisine types, but they complement each other. If you ask me, pizza and a salad, we love that. So Doughbird is going to offer pizzas, mouth-watering chicken. It's been really juicy every single time I went. Some of the best Brussels sprouts, right?
Yeah. So Colby and I just went not too long ago. The Brussels sprouts were tremendous. Wings were pretty good. The pizza was splendid. You got any favorites? What was your favorite?
Oh man. I think absolutely the Brussels sprouts, just because of that. They did this like a spicy sort of honey on it.
Oh,
that was just so good.
Yeah.
And not expected, not one of those things where it was unexpected, which I love that.
Yeah. Cool.
They also have a dog-friendly patio. Flower Child is kind of the complementary to it. So they're going to have more fresh ingredients, more salad-based. If you've got dietary requirements, such as, vegetarian, vegan, sugar-free, gluten-free, they're able to accommodate that a whole heck of a lot more than Doughbird. Both really great Sam Fox concepts. As we all know, as hopefully everyone knows, Sam Fox was based in Tucson. It's where he started his first restaurants, and then he just became this conglomerate of restauranting throughout the southern Arizona. Yeah, Texas, Arizona, the southern quadrant of the U.S. Yeah, good stuff there. Okay, 5 Points. So I don't know if you're familiar with 5 Points breakfast brunch. They're always very difficult to get in, especially during the when the students are back. You have to wait a little bit for brunch. Solid brunch. However, they recently started to open up for dinner, and it is incredible, if I do say so myself. So they've got one of my, I think if somebody were to say, hey, Addie, you know, you're going to be executed tomorrow, where do you want to eat? It's going to be 5 points. I kept the description short and sweet because there's just so much to say, but also it's just so beautifully simplistic. They have natural wines. Their natural wine list is really, really nice. They have a place to go, a retail shop, so you can go buy your natural wines. You get a discount if you take them home. Beautiful cocktails and just lovely dishes. One of my favorite dishes is the kale chicken Caesar salad. It's got tahini on the bottom. The kale is just cooked beautifully. You sprinkle lemon on top, and it just, oh my God, I can't.
It's kind of, oh yeah, there you go.
You can, so that's the thing. They do accept reservations, but it's never busy enough. So I want to tell more people about it because I want to spread the word, but not to everyone. It really is worth going. They do have the reservation system set up. So hopefully it gets busier and then you'll actually start to need the reservation. And they do free wine tastings every Thursday. And
I'm sorry, I'm new here. What does solid brunch mean?
What is what?
You said solid brunch.
Solid brunch. It's just a really, really good brunch. They have one of the better like pork tortas here in Tucson that I've had. Really good coffee program. Max, have you been there for brunch? Okay, well, he's going to go tomorrow.
I was just going to say, too, I'm a house director of 400 girls on campus, and they order from Flower Child constantly.
It's really good. But yeah, thanks for asking that question. So if I use vernacular that you're not comfortable, that you're not sure of, I have a 14-year-old, so I'm constantly trying to steal things from her. So I'm just always learning. But it's a really, really great brunch, and it's an even better dinner program. And they even have a happy hour menu from 4 to 6. Their wine tasting is from like 5 to 7. So if you can get into that 5 o'clock window where you get happy hour and free wine, it's where you want to be. And as far as another restaurant that's opened up recently, Blush opened at the beginning of this month. So they are a brand new restaurant on 4th Avenue. Oh yeah, they opened Friday. Yeah, just
the photo doesn't match what we're talking about.
Oh,
but this is a new 4th Avenue spot, which is
a photo for it.
It's nice. They got a nightclub in the back, which I know you all are down. I know you guys are ready to go dance. Have you been to Blush yet?
I have not been to Blush yet. It's supposed to be very 50s inspired. So you're going to walk in, see a lot of vintage memorabilia. During the day, it's supposed to be a cafe. And then in the evening, I think it caters more to the 4th Avenue crowd and the students. But during the day, you should be able to go get the neon lights, the music from the 50s, and kind of order. I think it's a healthier spin on like diner food.
It moved into the old
where the
art
Artebea.
Yeah.
Bella.
Oh, Bella Art Cafe. Yeah, they couldn't hold on. So
yeah,
that spot's always been bad. There's been tremendous turnover in that particular spot.
But Blush they're gonna land. You know, they're gonna make it.
They're gonna be what?
That's what they said about the French fry store.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. French fry store. So that is the last of the places that have opened. I mean, we have a guide on Tucson Foodie of all the places that have opened. It was close to 30 if you include coffee shops. There's a new meadery store or meadery in Tucson. Various other franchise locations open too. I didn't include those because those weren't. I don't know. I didn't include them because those were the 8 best ones that opened.
So the other thing about the guides I didn't mention previously is that we designed them to be less of static articles and more constantly updated kind of evergreen media. So our hottest new restaurants of 2023, we're constantly updating it to keep it up to date. So when new stuff opens, Blush, we just put Corbett's on there today. There's a couple new exciting places coming up here in the fall and kind of early winter. So all of the guides are designed to be kind of constantly turning over and constantly, up to date. That's the way to say it.
Yeah, the fall's promising to be very, very cool. there's going to be quite a few places opening up, at least a couple that I can think of in the downtown area, inside of the building where the Leo Kent is at. So it's that really tall building downtown. I know they're opening up like a new concept in there, and it's going to be based off of a bar that's in Phoenix where you're pretending you're in a train and it goes around, and just a really cool experience. Platform 18. Yeah. So I wanted to go ahead and add some staff favorites too. And by staff, I mean myself. So this is the Coronet. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of dining at the Coronet. They used to be more downtown. Now they're off of Cushing Street, south of the Tucson Convention Center. So inside of the Coronet, they've got their 3 concepts: the Coronet, Coronet Cafe, and Nightjar. So one's going to be the fine dining restaurant. The Coronet Cafe is going to be open in the mornings to kind of tailor to the cafe crowd. And then the Nightjar. So they're between all 3 concepts, they're open all day. The Coronet Cafe in the morning, Coronet for dinner, and then Nightjar for your nightcap. Just really beautiful space. Patio is dog friendly. If you have the chance to see Sally Kane, who's the owner, she's just a hoot and a half. I love spending time with her, and just a really overall great program for their fine dining. They are launching a new menu next week. So there'll be an article about that in Tucson Foodie. Yeah, really, really great location. Tito and Pep. Love Tito and Pep. So last year, Tito and Pep was mentioned in the New York Times list, 50 places in America we're most excited about right now. The chef is he's so talented. So one of the quotes that I took was, "Take his seafood stew inspired by chilpachole from Veracruz. How did he get something so straightforward to taste this remarkable?" And it really, truly, he can take something so simple seeming and just make it taste remarkable. Their aguachile is one of my favorite dishes that I've had in Tucson. Cocktail program is really, really good too. Their desserts, oh my gosh, that panna cotta. Oh, it's such a good panna cotta. I love it. If you can make it, they also are very reservation dependent. So just an FYI there, use Open Table, get your points, and make a reservation. Trans Fat Truck. I don't know if you've ever heard of Jackie Tran, but he used to actually be a writer and a photographer and an editor for Tucson Foodie. And now he's kind of branched out to start his own thing. He's done some really great reviews for National Geographic, for a lot of magazines, Bon Appetit, with regard to Tucson. So he's kind of getting his name out there with regard to the food scene. And he's also managed to do that by opening up his own food truck. Also caters to a lot of allergies, very vegan, non-vegan, gluten-free. He's got some of the best wings I've ever had. Just they're huge, they're crispy. He pairs them with a sauce like a lemon mayo or a gochujang, and they're just really, really good. His food truck is located inside of the Hotel McCoy. So they always have really cool programs. They have art nights, they have a piano indoors, they have one of the only saltwater pools in Tucson. So feel free to take the kiddos. It's just a really, really great food truck, and it's one of the ones that excite me the most.
Yeah, his dumplings are next level. I like them a lot.
His dumplings are just really, really good. And I know he's going to be doing something special with the dumplings. He's gonna promote a special sometime soon. So keep your eyes peeled because they're really, really good. That's it as far as restaurants. I'm happy to entertain other questions, but I did want to chat about some upcoming foodie events if you're interested. So Labor Day Luau, that's coming up. So this is going to be at Hacienda del Sol. It's going to be a Hawaiian-inspired buffet, tiki cocktails, live music. There's supposed to be hula dancers. So you can get your tickets, more information at Hacienda del Sol. And then all of these events are listed on our Tucson Foodie website. If you go to Tucson Foodie, you'll see things to do, and just click there and it'll show you our event calendar. These are featured, so you'll see them at the top. Something that we're really, really excited about is our Sonoran Restaurant Week. So that's coming up. It's 10 days of just culinary divine madness. So we're trying to get up to 100 restaurants again this year. We had 100 restaurants last year, so we set the standard or the bar high for ourselves. But basically all of these restaurants are going to offer a $25, $35, or $45 prefix menu. Some of them even include wine pairings, so keep your eyes peeled for those. But that's just going to be a great way to support, maybe get out of your comfort zone. Once the list comes out, it'll be overwhelming, but what I like to do is open it, plan my routes, and I will. I'll do breakfast, lunch, and dinner one day. It's madness.
Trying to hit 10 restaurants each day for 10 days.
Oh gosh. Mac knows.
The prefix menus are ideally supposed to be bespoke for the Sonoran Restaurant Week. They're supposed to be unique to the event itself. So it'll be similar types of food, but things that you haven't had necessarily at Tito and Pep or
Maynard's or
whoever else you end up visiting.
Yeah, and this year we're changing things up. Last year we had some food trucks and some merchants on there. This year it'll be strictly restaurants. So we're excited about that. We want to be able to do something later down the line with food trucks specifically because they are such a great source of food. But for this one, we are just going to leave it for restaurants. We're really excited. We've got close to 60 onboarded now. With this kicking off on the 8th, we're excited to be able to keep on adding to that menu. To that list. Vegan night market. So this is going to be downtown Tucson where the Children's Museum is, or the Tucson's Children's Museum is. They're going to cordon off side of some part of the street, and it'll just be a lot of vegan food vendors. So the last one we had was really, really successful. Some would say too successful, but there'll be craft, there'll be vendors, there'll be, I mean, sometimes last time they had like permanent jewelry. So it should just be a good time to go support vegan. I had the vegan tacos. I would have never known. They were fantastic. So that's another event to keep your eyes on. And then just one more page, if I can get it to click.
1 sec. That might be me.
Perfect. Oktoberfest, it'll be here before we know it, with September just being around the corner. Button Brew House has their Oktoberfest. They will be benefiting a nonprofit, Project Insight. They'll have Stein Holding. They always have great beer samples. House of Brats is always on site. It's always a good time. The 23 Miles of Mexican Food in Tucson is coming back. This year it's being organized by the Tucson International Mariachi Conference. It'll be, I believe it'll be at the Annex this year, at the MSA Annex where Westbound is on Church. But you'll be able to sample some of the best Mexican food in Tucson at that event. And lastly, Howl at the Museum. So this event takes place at the Tucson Museum of Art. It's a great way to get in after hours. You're able to walk around with your cocktails, with food around the museum. It is around Halloween, so they do encourage costumes. So it's always a bit more festive. There's interactive performances, light bites everywhere. Usually Whiskey Del Bach will hold a cocktail competition. Fun fact, I won that the first year, and I'm not even a bartender. So I won. It's just a really, really good time. You don't think you're going to get full or drunk, and then you get both. So, and then that covers the events. And then really what I wanted to end with was ways to get involved. We've got a great newsletter that goes out every Wednesday. If you wanted to subscribe to that, just go to TucsonFoodie.com. There's a subscribe button at the top. We encourage you to just enter your email and call it a day. Become a member. As I mentioned before, we've got the Tucson Foodie Insiders, which is catered more to like events. And then the Passport, which is really going to be a way to discover lots of restaurants in Tucson. We've even got juice bars on there. We've got just a ton of stuff on there. So I encourage you to take a look at either one of those. I hyperlinked it in case you wanted to learn more about each program at your leisure. Curate a guide. Be like Colby. If you have any suggestions, or if you want to see your own, if you think you've got a great idea for what a guide should look like, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to curate one. Yeah. And then just like us on social media. We've got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The YouTube video is still up. So if you wanted to take a look at the videos with Chef Maria or anybody else, you'd be welcome to.
Yeah, I think there's a couple more. In addition to Chef Maria, Jackie Tran's got a cooking video up there now. And I think another one just launched today.
A vegan one dropped last night, yeah.
So lots of cool cooking videos, and yeah, get involved.
Yeah, we'd love to have you and see you at more of our events. That's for sure.
I've got some questions from our online community, and some of this may be suggestions for guides, or maybe you have these available online or not. But Harold is asking about any good seafood restaurants in Tucson or Oro Valley. So,
I'm going to give you my, oh my gosh.
He needs a microphone.
Kingfisher is obviously, yeah, it's one of the favorites. They just ended their summer road trip series, which is always a good way to support them during the summer, because they'll do different menus that they take from different parts of the United States. But they did a France region recently, which is really good. But yeah, Kingfisher is always a good one.
Kingfisher solid. Charo Steak and Del Rey, they kind of joined forces down there downtown. It's kind of surf and turf down there. At the moment, I do not have a seafood guide, although I'm putting that in my El Baraco. There you go. That's from our audience suggestions right there. Mariscos on Scott.
Oh, Mariscos. I know which one you're talking about. Cruda, yeah.
Yeah.
Cruda's really good.
There are oysters in that, yeah. So we've got a sushi guide out now, but now I'm making mental notes for my seafood guide.
So I just want to give a quick shout out for OLLI. If you're part of our program, we have a dining out groups that go out frequently and get together, and Ann Tai was here. There she is over there, that helps organize a lot of these dining out events and others. But it is part of our program as well. You can get together in groups and go visit all these amazing new places. Somebody's asking about suggestions of dinner restaurants with live jazz.
Century Room. Century Room downtown always has, they have jazz basically every single day of the week. I think on Mondays they've changed it up and are doing flamenco, which is really, really cool. It's like the traditional style of flamenco, the tablao. They have a small menu as well, but if you are already downtown, you might as well grab a bite somewhere else and then grab just a couple of cocktails and listen to live jazz. I believe they'll even do karaoke, like some version of karaoke, but with like a live jazz band, which is really cool. So if you're talented, go.
I think Jackrabbit Lounge is another one over on Oracle Stone.
Yeah.
Kind of out northwest just a little bit. They do all kinds of music events. The last one I saw was a kind of 80s raging sort of night. I know they've done jazz in the past, so that's kind of a cool eatery / cocktail lounge, very groovy vibes. Century Room, like we were talking about, that's connected to Hotel Congress. So it's just kind of part of that big envelope of those restaurants. We were saying they do have food, but it's very small bites. It's
like
little
olives, yeah.
kind of shared munchy plates and that kind of thing. Fortunately, there is a live music guide in Tucson on TucsonFoodie.com. That one is live, and it's a good way to kind of, with a little interactive map, find where all those spots are.
Somebody else is saying Brother John's.
Brother John's Barbecue.
Vero Amore usually does live jazz. They have a speakeasy, Hacienda del Sol. Oh yes, Hacienda del Sol on Thursdays, I believe. Every single night. Hacienda del. Oh my gosh,
there's
write our jazz guide.
There we go. So the other popular question that's come up a couple times here with COVID in particular, but people looking for good patio dining, places with misters because of the heat and the like.
A lot of the places that were on this have a great patio that's dog friendly also. Gosh.
I just went to
Saguaro Corners.
I just went to Blue Willow yesterday for brunch. That's a really nice one. They've got good misters. It kind of depends on how hot it is. Finding the places that are kind of indoor, outdoor, versus just totally outdoor is a little tricky during the hot. Which Tohono Chul. Yeah. So the Garden Bistro's got a nice one. Culinary Dropout's another one. They've got kind of that indoor, outdoor action. There's a new spot downtown called the Monica. It's kind of part of that hotel. It's got the whole food area. That's indoor, outdoor.
Locale is really great Italian food and also huge outdoor space. Locale, it's on Broadway and Borderlands.
Yeah, Borderlands is a nice one.
Coronet also.
Corbett's, now that the new place that just opened, yeah.
I'm sorry, 2 questions. I'm a question.
I love that.
Yeah, go.
So I'm new here and I have literally hundreds of people asking me, they're coming into town to visit their students. Where can we go to dinner? And it's usually a group of 6, maybe 10. Then we have groups of young people, not all are 21, that want to go out to have food that are probably in groups of 8 to 12. So do you have a guide for that?
Guide to bigger groups?
Yeah.
I will in the next week.
We do. We do.
What a coincidence. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do I what?
I said, what a coincidence. Here's the $20 I offer.
I'll take it.
I
I'll
am
take
putting
it.
something together for
Another
bigger
one.
groups. Yeah.
I'm sorry. One other question. Okay,
We do have a current article up. I actually wrote that one on the big fine dining spaces. So like there's a few places near the annex, like where
Says
Augustine Kitchen. Yeah, Augustine Kitchen's a good one. They have private patios and space. So there is one already, and then there will be a guide soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then one other quick one. So I'm a commercial artist and photographer. Do you have a guide to where to see good art in restaurants?
I do. It is live, actually. And that's one where you can both see local art and also purchase it if you're so interested. TucsonFoodie.com/guides. Good. Okay.
Oh, Monterey Court for patio is also really good. They also have live music.
Somebody's asking about the Sonoran Week and how that works. In terms of I think that each restaurant has the fixed price menu or something to that effect.
So you'll once the restaurants and the menus are online, you can go and kind of pick your own adventure online. We do recommend making a reservation, but once you go into the restaurant, each restaurant should have signage and they should have the menu displayed for you to choose from. And some are really set in stone where you can only order 1, 2, and 3. But if it's like for example, the pricier option, you'll be able to kind of select, here's one appetizer that you can select, here's another entree, here's a dessert that you can share, and maybe there's like a cocktail or something involved. So it's up to each restaurant's discretion, but you should be able to stay within those prefixed prices, if that makes sense. Oh, we have a question back there.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about how the passport program works? I see you're charging $2.99, but I gather if you get it and go out to eat a lot, you'll end up saving a lot more than that. Is that right?
That's correct. That is actually, can I have you speak to it? Colby is actually a member. So I just feel like an actual in-person testimonial might be more powerful.
So basically, on your phone with the passport, it has usually 10 or it could be $15 or $20 off at a particular restaurant, and some of them will renew. Some of them will renew monthly, like Transit Tea has a $10 coupon every month. Thunder Bacon Burger has one every month. And you can just basically go on your phone and find some place like, oh, we have been there. And you touch on it and it will give you like where the address is and even like a link to the website so you can see what the menu looks like. And then you just, you go there and, many of them, like I said, reset monthly or every 6 months. And it's super handy. I think last time I checked, it was something like between $2,000 and $3,000 worth of them in a particular calendar year that you could use if you went out to eat every day.
Yeah, and some of the more fine dining places where the price menu is going to be a little higher, you'll have like a $40 off instead of like a $10 off.
If you're familiar with the old entertainment books, it's basically the same thing, except there's no coupon for tires in there. So it's all specific to the restaurants in Tucson.
Oh, what? She needs a microphone. You can get that lady a microphone. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's per person. So if you and a friend had both, you can combine both. Oh yeah, you could use all 6 of them at once. Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you, Colby.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you.
So how does participation in them giving a coupon influence whether you see them on your app as you're looking for a restaurant? For example, one restaurant has a $10 coupon on. The restaurant next door isn't participating. Do we still see both restaurants on your site? I think that.
On the website, yes. On the actual app where the passport takes or lives, you only see the participating restaurants. Yes. So
Yeah, so
We've
they
got close to 80
they
of
all
them.
sign up. How many do you
close to 80 restaurants.
80 restaurants. So they're all listed. And as Colby said, you can go back to a couple of the restaurants on a monthly basis. And then a lot of them is just one time. But again, the whole idea is that you get to try all these terrific restaurants.
Yeah. And they're different. They're based geographically like everywhere. So you can go somewhere on the north side, east side.
The question was, does it expire? Is it on an annualized basis?
It's on an annual basis.
So it's three.
Yeah, so if you bought one today, for example, you would have the entire year, 365 days from now to use them.
But wait, if you don't use it, I'm not sure. I thought I said that they don't expire.
So what?
It's questionable. Yes, no?
They don't technically the coupons don't expire in that term. But
Okay.
once you're no longer, for example, if you don't renew your membership, then you just wouldn't have access to them. Okay,
so that's a good thing to check on the website. But you basically at least have a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's when you sign up, it's not like the entertainment book was like ran September to September, but this is going to be if you sign up in February, it's February to February.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't like if you're not going to run out. Okay. Well, I appreciate that everybody has come to meet us and enjoy this class. I want to thank the folks from Tucson Foodie for a terrific job.
Thanks, Colby.
And I will tell you that we are going to probably be working closely with Addie over the next year or so to provide more content. I've actually spoke to Scott briefly. I'm going to try and revive the Hidden Gems of Tucson Restaurants starting the spring semester. It's a lot of work. Thank you so much for coming. We're here if you have any questions. Scott probably has something else that he wants to say, but thank you again.
Just to encourage you all to look at our amazing fall program. We've got a great catalog. It's just incredible. If you can't find a class or 20 that don't appeal to you, then I'm not sure what we can do for you. But again, thank you so much for Tucson Foodie, and we'll have a recording of this available, and enjoy your day.